Able to charge racketeering. We would not have been able to charge money laundering, and we certainly wouldn't have been able to identify 100 men that were availing themselves of trafficked women.
So far, only one agency, Vero Beach Police, was able to charge someone with human trafficking by way of racketeering. As for the surveillance video we showed you, law enforcement sources say it led to numerous arrests and shut down that spa. Live in the studio tonight, I'm Maris Badcock, WPTV News Channel 5.
Punishment for a Martin County bus aide seen in a viral video. The aide is being suspended 4 days without pay for taking a President Trump hat off the head of a student. WPTV News Channel 5's Megan McRoberts live in Palm City outside the student's school with the family's frustration over tonight's decision. Megan.
Kelly, Gunnar Johansson's parents tell me that there was not a specific discipline that they wanted to see implemented against this bus aide. They tell me that the main issue they have tonight is just the way they say the district investigated this case in the first place, saying that they feel the district minimized the severity of this alleged offense.
Walking out of a school board meeting to hugs from family and friends, Dolores Matheny, the bus aide at the center of the Trump hat controversy, appears satisfied with a 4-day unpaid suspension, allowing her to keep her job.
Anything you want to say to Gunnar?
Still no comments from her.
Anything you want to say to his family?
But Gunnar Johansson's parents say this wasn't what they wanted.
I think it would be good if they had a position for her that was not around the children.
I don't feel today that our voice was heard.
Take that hat off.
Investigators say Matheny is the voice heard telling Johansson to take off his Trump hat, while other students wearing hats are not asked to do the same.
Turn around!
The Martin County Sheriff's Office also pushed for criminal charges, which the state denied.
My son was harassed and intimidated.
But Johansson's parents say the district did not investigate the case for harassment or political discrimination, instead issuing discipline based off of misconduct.
They have a rule that says you can't discriminate or harass a child, and that's not what the order or the motion brought forward that was approved today.
Dolores has always been an upright character in the community and church.
Now Gunnar's family figuring out their next steps, but say riding the bus isn't one.
Just want to make it really clear that we forgive Dolores Matheny. And that has nothing to do with what should happen after.
Now, board members tonight did add to the disciplinary action that this bus aide should go through more professional development, which could be anything from going to sensitivity training to learning better ways to communicate with children. That bus aide could be moved to a new bus, but that has not happened yet. Reporting live in Palm City, I'm Megan McRoberts, WPTV News Channel 5.
Just in, if you're sending a student to school in Okeechobee County tomorrow, you may want to give them an extra bottle of water. There's a boil water advisory in place now for all customers. The Okeechobee School District announced bottled water will also be delivered to schools tomorrow.
Changing of the guard. The longtime mayor is out as voters in a local city beset by controversy emphatically hit the reset button tonight. Riviera Beach will usher in new political leaders to tackle residential safety and business challenges. Wanda Moore live in Riviera Beach for us tonight. Wanda?
Riviera Beach elected 3 new city council members and a new mayor. And so what the voters here made loud and clear tonight is that they demand change.
Riviera Beach voters were out celebrating the victory of their candidates. In a historic night, all incumbents were defeated.
This really is a city on the rise, and I'm excited. I don't know what will happen tomorrow, but I'm excited today.
Citizens elected 3 new city council members. Incumbent Lynn Hubbard suffered the biggest defeat. She lost against Troderick McCoy, who got 75% of the vote.
I think we all wanted to see a better Riviera Beach, and it's right within our grasp, so I'm ready to move forward.
The other 2 new council members agreed change was the theme of the night.
I think the city wanted to see some progress. They wanted to see some different direction, and I think that they made their voices heard.
I'm feeling ecstatic. I'm so happy that the citizens of Riviera Beach recognize that they wanted change, they needed change, and they brought change.
The new mayor thinks the firing of the former city manager was an important issue for many voters.
I think it played a big role, amongst other things. I think that firing really woke this city up, and I think it unified us.
A historic night here indeed. Looking back at that night in September 2017, only one council member is still on the dais from that night. A big night of change here. And of course, the voters, they really made their voices heard loud and clear. We're live in Riviera Beach. One more WPTV News Channel 5.
In the West Palm Beach runoff race, attorney Richard Riles leading for the District 3 Commission seat. His opponent, Christy Fox, had the endorsement of outgoing Mayor Jerry Moyo and newly elected Mayor Keith James, who will be sworn in next week. And in Lake Worth Beach, District 4 Commissioner Herman Robinson wins the runoff election. Opponent Tom Copeland had previously conceded, but the city had to hold the election for legal reasons.
Gun control and how states should tackle it had the Palm Beach County Sheriff on Capitol Hill today. Rick Bradshaw spoke to senators at a hearing on red flag laws. In 2018, Florida passed a law after the Parkland shooting to allow law enforcement to file risk protection orders when they come in contact with someone who might harm themselves or others. The school shooting raised new concerns about gun control and mental illness.
I think the most important thing to realize is we cannot arrest our way out of this situation.
Sheriff Bradshaw told the Senate his agency's Behavioral Science Division, which pairs deputies with mental health professionals, has served 16 protection orders with the cooperation of families. Following the loss of 2 Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School students, the city of Coral Springs will gather for a town hall on mental health and suicide. Tomorrow night, resources will also be available to anyone looking for help. Town hall organizers say the Parkland tragedy did not stop the day of the shooting, and the continued suffering and anxiety left behind still needs to be addressed. The discussion starts at 6 o'clock tomorrow night at Coral Springs City Hall. Remember, if you or someone you know is struggling with suicidal thoughts, you're not alone and there is help. The National Suicide Prevention Lifeline is available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. That number right there on your screen. You can also call 211.
Now to Protecting Paradise, our year-long commitment to investigating environmental problems and working toward resolutions. President Trump's schedule shows he's planning a visit to Lake Okeechobee on Friday. Our news partner, T.C. Palm, reporting the president expected to talk about the Herbert Hoover dike repairs and a reservoir to curb harmful Lake O discharges to the St. Lucie River. Governor DeSantis expected to be there, so too are Senators Marco Rubio and Rick Scott. The senators have criticized the president's plan to slash Everglades restoration spending from $200 million to $63 million next year. Palm Beach police preparing for the president's visit to his Mar-a-Lago estate this week. They'll begin establishing checkpoints no later than 5 a.m. on Thursday. In 60 seconds, a toxic toad invasion, the effort happening at this late hour to stop them from breeding in one local neighborhood.
Defining distracted driving, the violations that may not get you a ticket after all.
Plus, spring breakers tell us how they turn the tables on robbers armed with a gun.
And here's a look at what we're working on when you wake up for WPTV tomorrow.
Hey there, thanks. You can start your day with Chopper 5, guiding your way to work smoothly and on time.
And you know, restaurants in your area aren't passing state inspections. See who's in this week's Dirty Dining list.
Tomorrow, 4:30 to 7 a.m., wake up with WPTV.
New information after pilots make the call to land minutes after taking off from Orlando's International Airport. Southwest Airlines says it was trying to move a Boeing MAX 737 plane to California for storage because of the mandated ground stop. Pilots reported a problem with the right engine, so they turned around and landed safely. The FAA said the issue is not related to the anti-stall software suspected in 2 fatal Boeing MAX plane crashes. Thousands of toxic toads swarming a Palm Beach Gardens neighborhood. These toads can kill pets and cause harm to children.
And tonight, the community's taking action. Ryan Hughes first broke the story, and he has the update you'll see only on WPTV News Channel 5.
Toadbusters, a toad removal company, says because we had a mild winter, they are seeing the poisonous toads in record numbers this year. This community has now hired them to come in. The company also telling us it's getting calls from up and down the state.
They like to eat the algae and the clams, the freshwater clams that are in there.
Janine Tilford is a teacher by day and a toad buster by night. Janine and her crew walking the bank of this lake, plucking adult bufo toads from the water and grass inside the Mirabella at Mirasol Community in Palm Beach Gardens after an infestation of the toxic toads.
If you remove the adults, you remove the number of eggs that are hatched and how many tadpoles that are there.
WPTV first told you about the toads taking over this neighborhood last week, swarming swimming pools, the sidewalks, even streets.
Like a mass exodus, like a horror movie with toads.
Jenny Quasha and her neighbors raised concerns because the toads are poisonous. They secrete a milky substance when threatened and are a danger to pets and children.
And it felt like they were just multiplying and we were out of control.
Females can reach about the size of a salad plate. One female can lay over 10,000 eggs.
But now toad busters using nets and lights is removing the source of the problem.
I feel at ease that they're doing something about it, and I hope that this will really prevent this from happening again in the future.
And Toadbuster says it will take multiple attempts to get a better handle of the infestation. The company also once again reminding people to keep your children and your pets away from the toads. In Palm Beach Gardens, Ryan Hughes, WPTV, News Channel 5.
A bill to crack down on distracted driving is going through changes in Tallahassee. The Senate version of the bill no longer includes reading, writing, or petting dogs as distractions, but it still would change texting while driving to a primary offense, meaning police and deputies would not need to pull you over for something else in order to cite you for texting while driving.
New at 11, a pair of armed robbers got more than they bargained for. A group of spring breakers ready to fight back. The young men on a trip to Fort Lauderdale were stopped at a gas station early Sunday morning when they were approached by the duo who had a gun. One of the spring breakers was jumped. That's when his friends piled on to help him. At some point, one of them took the gun away and used the firearm to scare off the would-be robbers.
Once I raised the gun, they both took off back to their car, and then we were just screaming. I mean, only thing running through your mind is protect your family.
Tonight, police are still looking for the gunman who first approached this group. His accomplice was arrested that night.
Good news for the citrus industry. Growers telling WPTV News Channel 5 this season has been their best in years. They say their trees are finally recovering from Hurricane Irma, and scientists believe they're close to stopping the spread of citrus greening. The Agriculture Department predicts 35 million more boxes of citrus will be harvested this year compared to last.
Big changes on the way for South Florida as we get windy conditions. We already have some rain and a few thunderstorms to fire it up in the late afternoon through the evening hours. Heaviest rain is off the coastline, and there's a low pressure system that's developing right now over Palm Beach County that slides off the coast overnight and then eventually swings a cold front through the area late overnight and early tomorrow. Some rain still around West Palm, down through the airport, Lake Clark Shores, starting to move away from Wellington and Royal Palm. Earlier rain in the last hour around Peanut Island and Palm Beach Shores and Singer Island, and a few thunderstorms. The heaviest rainfalls down to the south, moving off Miami now. And there's a look at the Treasure Coast where we have rain just hugging the coastline around the inlet and Sailfish Point, South Hutchinson Island. Overnight lows will cool off, continuing to cool into the 50s and low 60s for overnight lows. Generally 50s across the Treasure Coast late overnight. And the winds really don't pick up until late morning on the Treasure Coast and then eventually into Palm Beach County in the afternoon. So it'll be partly sunny. It'll be a pleasant morning. There will be a few quick showers, but it's the afternoon that we really start to feel the winds increase. There'll be 20, 25 mile an hour wind gusts, and that just slowly increases in toward tomorrow evening and into Thursday. I expect they'll peak. Wellington tomorrow, 60 in the morning. Looks like a good commute, 75 by the afternoon. We see some clouds come in, a few showers, and then 68 and very windy by tomorrow evening. And by this time tomorrow night, we're looking at likely 30, 35 mile an hour wind gusts. But it starts off slow. 9 in the morning, not too bad. You can see early afternoon beginning to pick up